Hello and welcome. This is the 9 p.m. daily quiz, a place where we analyze and discuss some of the most important prelim specific questions from different sources such as the Hindu newspaper, Indian Express, PIB, Down to Earth, and many more. The focus is on current affairs, the news related to it, and what questions can be asked from here. Before we begin today's quiz, I have a very important announcement for all of you. A lot of you would be looking for a backup plan despite being prepared for the UPSC examination. Many people tend to give other state examinations as well. If you're also one of them, you know that the UPPCS exam, that is the Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission's prelims exam, is coming up on the 27th of October. In case you're one of those who is interested in this examination and wants to prepare for this without deviating a lot from your UPSC preparation, what I have done is I have launched a test series specifically for UPPCS. It's an online test series that you can buy from my app. It has over 320 tests, so there are all sorts of questions, UP specific questions also, UP related current affairs as well, based on the types of questions that are asked in the UPPCS. This does not cost a lot of money. If you want, you can download my app and check out the test series. Again, you can give these tests as many times as you want. It will just help in your revision. This will help you in not deviating from your UPSC preparation and side by side preparing for the UPPCS as well if you're interested in that. If you want to download my app, you can check out the description of this video. I've given the link of my app, or you can go to Google Play Store and search for the name of the app, that is Harshmeet Study Circle. Now let's begin with the first question. Consider the following statements. Number 1. States cannot make changes to the scheduled caste list published under Article 341 of the Constitution. Second, as per Article 341, neither the central government nor the President can make any amendments or changes in the notification issued under Clause 1 without a law made by the Parliament. Third, the drafting committee chairman moved Article 341 to ensure the Constitution was not burdened with long list of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. It's an interesting question. Article 341 is something that remains in the news quite a lot. Whenever there are demands from different communities across the country to be included in the scheduled caste list, you see this article coming up time and time again in the news. It is in the news recently because the Supreme Court struck down the Bihar government decision of about a decade back where the Bihar government included one of their communities in the scheduled caste list. The Supreme Court got very angry and said this is a gross violation of the Constitution because under Article 341 the state government does not have the power to make changes in the scheduled caste list. So the first statement is correct. Second is also correct. For any new community to be included in the scheduled caste list, it has to be done through the Parliament. It has to be done through a law of the Parliament and not just a notification. Third is also correct. When the Constitution was first being formed, rather than giving an entire list in the Constitution of who will be scheduled caste and who will be scheduled tribes, what the drafting committee said was, let's leave it to the President of India to prepare the first list. So it was the President of India who was given the power to prepare the first list, and then the changes are made even today by the Parliament. That is why all these three statements are correct. The answer here is C. All three are correct. This is an article in the Indian Express newspaper. As you can see, Supreme Court quashed Bihar's decision to classify Tanti Tantwa as a scheduled caste. So this is one of the communities that the Bihar government identified as scheduled caste. Supreme Court said no, you cannot do that. Under Article 341, state governments don't have the power to do that. Second question. Consider the following statements with regards to the money bill. Number 1. Several important laws, including amendments to PMLA, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, as well as the Aadhaar Act, have been passed by this route in the recent years. Second, under Article 110, a money bill shall be introduced only in the Lok Sabha and upon passage transmitted to Rajya Sabha for its recommendations. Third, Article 110 Part 3 says if any question arises whether a bill is a money bill or not, decision of the Speaker of the House of the People thereon shall be final. Now, it is in the news because in the past few years, it has been alleged that the government has been misusing this, because whenever the government thinks that they don't have sufficient numbers in the Rajya Sabha to pass a certain bill, they make changes in the bill and identify that as a money bill so that it can be passed without the Rajya Sabha having to pass it. That is why many of these bills have now been challenged in the Supreme Court. In fact, even right now, there's a 7-member bench of the Supreme Court, 7-judge bench of the Supreme Court that is still in the process of hearing a case about how to define a money bill properly, so that the Lok Sabha speaker does not get unlimited powers over it. So this is still a matter that the Supreme Court is hearing now. First statement is true. All these laws that don't seem to be money bill in the first instance have actually been passed as money bills only by the government in the past few years. Second is wrong. It is actually Article 109 that says this. One of the mistakes that students commit is they assume that everything about money bill is in Article 110 only. That is not true. Article 110 only talks about the definition of the money bill. Then Article 109 talks about the process of the money bill. Third is true. Whenever there is a question if the bill is a money bill or not, Lok Sabha Speaker takes the final call. But now the Supreme Court has also started to accept these challenges. The answer thus would be B. Any two are correct. Second statement here is wrong. There is this detailed article in the Indian Express newspaper today about the issue of the money bill and how this is still a matter that the Supreme Court is hearing. Question number 3. Consider the following statements with regards to Chandipura virus infection, also called as a CPCV. Number 1. It is a virus, or CHPV. It is a virus of Rhabdoviridae family, which also includes other members such as Lyssa virus that causes rabies. Second, susceptibility has largely remained limited to children below 15 years of age. And third, this infection was first isolated in 1965 while investigating a dengue chikungunya outbreak in Gujarat. How many of these are correct? Now, this is a virus that is in the news because of a recent outbreak in Gujarat. A lot of children are falling ill, some of them even passed away, and that is why it has become a very, very serious news. This is not a new virus, it has come up again in the news. The third statement is wrong. It was first revealed in 1965 during an outbreak in Maharashtra. So during a dengue chikungunya outbreak in Maharashtra, this virus was first released, first isolated for study. First and second are true. It is largely seen to be affecting children below the age of 15, and it is a virus from the same family that causes rabies. The answer thus would be B. 2 are correct. The third statement here is wrong. This is the article in the Indian Express newspaper. There have been about 12 suspected cases that have reported so far from Gujarat. 6 children have in fact died of this virus. This is not the first outbreak. We have seen this in Maharashtra in 2003-04, in Gujarat, and even in Andhra Pradesh. Next is question number 4. Which of the following statements is not true about the Damodar River? Number 1. Damodar Valley project was implemented for different purposes such as to supply power of hydroelectric to West Bengal and Bihar and to improve or to prevent floods effectively. Second, Damodar River rises in the Palamu hills of Chota Nagpur Plateau in the state of Jharkhand. Third, due to devastating floods caused by the Damodar River and its tributaries in the plains of West Bengal, it is known as a sorrow of Bengal. And fourth, none of the above. So which of these is not true about the Damodar River? Think about this. The correct answer is D. All these 3 actually are correct. One of the earliest projects after India's independence on any river was this Damodar Valley project. The idea was to ensure that the heavy population of West Bengal and Bihar have enough supply of hydroelectricity and to prevent floods in these areas. And that is why this project was created. The reason why it is in the news is that it has been asking for more funds from the government of India for its expansion. All the 3 statements are true. The fourth will be the answer because none of the other are actually false. It is from the PIB that we have taken this news. That is, the Union Minister has visited Damodar Valley Corporation headquarters because it is looking to explore market equity now to take funds from the market and not from the government for its expansion. Next, question number 5. Operation Nanhe Farishte, often in the news, Operation Nanhe Farishte, often in the news, is what? A mission dedicated to rescuing children in the need of care and protection across various Indian railway zones. Second, mission dedicated to rescuing child labor working illegally in factories across the country. Third, central government scheme to financially support children under 5 years who are suffering from life-threatening diseases. And fourth, central government scheme for adoption of children who lost both their parents during COVID-19 pandemic. Which of these is the right identification or a right definition of the Operation Nanhe Farishte? It was in the news. The answer here is A. It is a scheme that is run by the Railway Protection Force under which the children who are left or who are kidnapped and they are living in railway zones, railway stations or nearby areas. They are rescued. This is a project called the Nanhe Farishte. The answer here would be A. There is a news in the PIB about how over 84,000 children so far have been rescued by the Railway Protection Force under this operation the last 7 years. This operation has been going on from about 2018. The rescue forces from railways have rescued over 84,000 children who were at risk in stations, trains, etc. So it's a very, very important and significant project being run by the Railway Ministry. Today again, we want to end the day with an important infographic. As I said earlier as well, we'll end this session with an important piece of information. It can be infographic or a quote. Today's infographic is about the International Big Cat Alliance. Very, very important project. Very significant and ambitious project of the government of India. Here are a few important pieces of information regarding that. What are the big cats that are included here? It was launched by India in 2023. There are 96 member countries that have already joined it. These are the big cats included along with their status of wildlife conservation. Do remember this, it's an important piece of information for the mains examination. This brings us to the end of today's session. If you are new here, do hit the subscribe and the like button as well. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind.